topic of, it seems like it comes up every 2 weeks. And to be fair, I am someone that's stoking the fire a little bit when it comes to Twitter and X and posting about advertising. I do it often. Now, there's a huge divide, it feels like, in the community with advertising. First thing I want to say is the majority of people that I hear talk about advertising don't know what advertising means. And I say that respectfully. They think ads just mean Super Bowl commercial, random sponsorship with some big company. Like the just the perception of ads is not correct. Now, first thing I want to just make clear is Tesla is running advertising. Like, let's just make that clear. It's not like it isn't. And I've proven this before. If you go to Tesla Ads transparency tool that's provided to advertisers, you can search up Tesla Inc. as a company right here based out of the United States, Tesla Inc., and Tesla is running search ads. So look at these ads, starting at $31,490, $7,500 federal tax credit. Tesla is running ads, right? So if we look at videos though, and traditionally speaking, when people think advertising, they think videos. Tesla is not running any video advertising. And that is the big thing that everyone wants it to see. As it stands, Tesla's only running text-based search campaigns. That is it. That's all. So should Tesla run more advertising? That's a debate we can have. And I quite think it's and the reason why I bring this up is, how's it going, Kyle? The reason why I bring it up is there's a CNBC article posted today about Gary Black from Tim Mullaney titled, "As Tesla price cuts concede billions in sales, investors push Elon Musk to finally spend on ads." So two things can be true. They're already spending money on ads, yes. And Elon has already said that they're going to run advertising. Okay, so points. The EV maker rarely, if ever, spends on ads, but slowing unit growth and price cuts to bolster vehicle sales is unsettling to some investors. As you guys know, in the last couple of weeks, I haven't been able to say, but of course, Tesla price cuts have happened yet again. It's one of those things now where every couple of weeks, it seems like if you're a buyer of a Tesla car, why not just wait? Oh, my phone is going off. Hold on one sec. Turn this crap off. Hold on. Why not just wait, right? No offense. If you're in the market for a vehicle, a Model 3, I have a friend like this right now. He is saying, he's telling me, Yash, what is the point? What's the point of me buying the Model 3 when in probably 3 weeks I get another $1,500 off, or I get another promotion? So it disincentivizes people to jump the gun and go and buy in, right? Thank you, David. Appreciate that. Thank you. Marco, how's it going, man? Marco, our lovely mod. So the price cuts in particular may have shaved billions of dollars off Tesla's revenue this year. Now, this line doesn't really make sense because, of course, I'm here for the argument that Tesla should run ads, but at the same time, you're assuming when you say this line that Tesla would have sold all those cars at the full price. So it's a bit disingenuous to me. GM, Ford, and other automakers collectively spend more than $20 billion on major media campaigns annually. So here is the big cahoots. The people that are on the Tesla community saying Tesla should run ads are not the same people, in my humble opinion, on the legacy media marketing side that are secretly pushing for this narrative as well, so to bump their revenue. Look, CNBC, the main way they make money is based on marketing, right? Advertising, sponsorships. That's how they make money. Those people are here to say the same exact things that I'm talking about, but they're different. What I'm saying is Tesla should run YouTube video campaigns, should run remarketing campaigns all over Google's platforms, Facebook platforms. I know Elon probably is going to shudder at the thought of running Facebook ads and Instagram ads, right? But these people here are saying on CNBC in particular, and the person that they cite in this is none other than Mr. Gary Black, qualifies as a big supporter of electric vehicle giant Tesla. The Chicago fund manager has Tesla's number 1 or 2 holdings since he's opened his fund. These people that are writing these articles are also saying run ads, but what they're saying is a little bit different. Hear me out. What they're saying is, why don't we give CNBC some money? Why don't you run some TV commercials? I'm in favor of running performance-based marketing ads that you can directly measure ROI based off of. And that only happens based on online advertising. When you talk about TV commercials, you can't measure performance based on that, right? I mean, you could do lift studies where, you know, we ran this ad and this is the lift, this is the marginal lift that we saw. You could do studies like that. But when you talk about direct performance based advertising, specifically YouTube, I think YouTube, if I had to hone down on the 80-20 of what I think Tesla should run ads on, it's YouTube ads. Tesla should make, and Tesla already has made, we saw that Korean airport recently have a Tesla video sponsored on it. Run that as YouTube advertising across YouTube, around Google's YouTube platform, right? Run advertising based on charging. Yesterday, I was at a coffee shop. I was sitting down. This family behind me, these two moms were talking, and I didn't catch much. But what I caught out of the conversation was, she was like, "Hey, how do you charge the car?" She's like, "Oh, it's quite easy. I just charge it like my phone every night." I was like, "Oh, okay, interesting." And that's all I caught. But I just had that click in my head where I was like, this was an ad. Like, it's crazy that people don't think about their car in the same way. So who's to say that Tesla should be the one, I guess, spotting the entire industry? But look, Tesla is the industry when it comes to EVs, right? Like when you think about EVs, you don't think about the Chevy Bolt, right? You don't think about the Nissan Leaf. God, you don't think about the Lucid. Even Lucid's not thinking about Lucid, okay? Lucid's at the point now where they don't even want to talk about how many cars they've delivered, right? Elon tweeted that he's had more kids in Q2 than Lucid has delivered cars. So Tesla is the leader in electric vehicles. They should be the one pioneering and pushing for education in the space. And with that, and with the microphone being in Tesla's hand, I think the market is better served that way. Any questions, any comments? Feel free to come on in the stream as well. Here, I will pin, if I can find it, I will pin the message, the link to jump on. If you want to jump on the stream, ask a question, call into the show. 9:21 on a beautiful Sunday morning. I hope everyone, Pacific time, I hope everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. That's my bit on Tesla ads. And someone, I forget who on Twitter, someone told me, hold on, I really got to take a glass of water here. I got riled up talking about Tesla advertising. What a world that we live in. Average millennial investor says, should do a Spotify ad. I work out and always hear ads. Short Spotify ads hitting their major pain points would be good. Great source of placement right there. Right now, to be fair, I don't think Spotify ads are as effective as running stuff on the Google and Facebook network, or Meta network, I should say. But that's a great suggestion, because look, you can measure performance based on that. How many people have clicked on that ad? The people that have clicked on that ad, how many of them went on to buy a Tesla in the next year? These are the studies that you can run, and I run when it comes to marketing on a daily basis. And of course, Tesla has the money to do it, and they don't have to spend a lot of money. Because remember, they haven't even done bottom of funnel remarketing campaigns. Marcus says, a friend of mine said today, children of today don't care about Ferrari. They have posters of Teslas. No ads needed for the next generation of car buyers. Great point on the Ferrari thing. I totally agree. I will still pass by some random block at some point with kids playing, and they'll all point and say it's a Tesla. So I actually don't understand how that's possible still, considering how prevalent, how prevalent Teslas are in Vancouver. But every time not every time, but every time it happens, I'm just a little bit flabbergasted that it does happen. Let me move my fat head up a little bit. Matt says, okay, try this. Tesla spends $10 billion on advertising. What happens? $10 billion is quite a lot. Let's start with $100 million in advertising. Here's what I think would happen. Tesla would spend $10 million on advertising. They would measure directly how many clicks they got, how much of an engagement off of those clicks they got on their website, how many email addresses did they collect, and then they can run a study based on 1 year, come back a year from today and say, and they can do this on a trailing basis, out of all the leads that we got, out of all of the advertising that we got, how many of those people turned out to be customers in a year from today? And they can run simple analysis saying it costs us on average $1,100 to acquire a new customer for us. And of course, when we talk about brand marketing, there's a little bit of cannibalization there. I don't need to get into the marketing analysis of this, but they can measure this down on a pretty analytical basis and say, it costs us $1,200 to acquire a new customer. And then you just run the math and you say, okay, do we lower prices by $2,000 or do we spend $1,200 to acquire a new customer for this car? And what does that cost curve look like? What does that demand curve look like? Michael, how's it going? Question, does Tesla sell every car they manufacture? If yes, no need for mainstream ads. The product is that. But here's the problem with that argument, Michael. Tesla has been lowering prices massively. And the reason why, undoubtedly, is because they need more buyers, right? So yes, Tesla is at this rate where they can manufacture cars like gangbusters. They're scaling, new factories are coming online. But for them to have this, and this is definitely the internal dialogue that's happening at Tesla, is, look, we're scaling really well. We don't want to slow down. So if we can't find buyers as fast as we need to for all the cars that we're scaling, the easiest thing we can do is lower prices to make sure that nothing stops us from scaling. And I think for the record, I do think that's a good business strategy in the long run. In the next 2 or 3 years, when interest rate comes back down, the economy looks a little bit better, Tesla will be the only car manufacturer running at scale, the only EV manufacturer even close. And so you don't want to sacrifice the velocity that you're building these cars, because if you sacrifice the velocity that you're building these cars at, then of course, to jump back up to that level takes a lot of fixed costs. And of course, efficiencies. And there's just a lot of learnings that have to re-happen. But if you're already operating there, you continue to operate there, you have this massive level of efficiency that you can get. And so when Tesla looks at their current scale and they go, man, I don't think we can find a buyer for this car right away, they have to lower prices. So it's just true. If Tesla could sell every car they're selling today at 2021 prices, trust me, they would. They would. They're not jumping the gun to say, let's lower prices so this buyer that's already ready to buy can get a discount. No, they're lowering prices because they need to find that next buyer, right? But of course, nothing's wrong with lowering prices. But I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to have a level-headed argument here and say, look, advertising doesn't mean take the current pool of prospective buyers in a market and start bombarding them. Advertising to me means increasing the pool of eligible buyers. That person today that doesn't know anything about EVs or might have misinformation already thrown at them, that's the person I want to bring into the pool of prospective buyers in the next 3 to 5 years. And that's what I think advertising solves, is increasing the pool of eligible buyers in the next 3 to 5 years. It's not about converting the existing pool of buyers just so you can have a transaction in the next year, although there's a degree of that. I think increasing the pool by educating the masses and saying, look, this is how you charge. Look, this is why you don't have to actually worry about your battery size. I had this argument actually with someone not too long ago. We're having this argument about, he's like, I'm not buying an electric car until it gets like 800 kilometers of range, something stupid. And I was like, are you an idiot? I was like, why would you wait for that? First of all, it's never going to happen. Second of all, tell me your use case that you're going to need 800 kilometers. He's like, well, every now and then I'll drive for like 7 hours straight. I'm like, great. Who cares? If you drive, and how many days a year you're driving like that? And he's like, maybe every like 5 years I'll go on 1 or 2 of these road trips. I'm like, look, man, you're not buying a car for your 0.01% edge case scenario. And plus, what Tesla has in terms of, let's say, lowered range, which by the way, their range is more than satisfactory. It's what you want them to make up with their supercharging network. If you know that you can drive as fast as you want, you can get to supercharging within 10 minutes, you can go from 20 to 80% with the V4 chargers. You don't need that extra, you don't need to lug around this extra 300 kilometers of range for 5 years so you can use it one time. So anyways, my point being is that these debates I'm just getting sick of a little bit. And I think a mass marketing campaign to educate people on EVs would go a long way. Exactly. Mary. Okay, so DRK makes a good point, right? The lower the price, the more people in that bracket, which increases the total addressable market, since most buyers have to finance. Cost matters each month. Great point. Demand elasticity with price. Yes, I am not denying this. What I'm arguing for is an increasing of the demand curve, right? I'm increasing, and of course, in a perfect market, here are the assumptions that are made in that assertion. The market is perfect. Everyone has perfect information in that market. Here's what I'm arguing. The market is not perfect, and people not only don't have perfect information, they have misinformation. So my argument on that basis, I think holds, because I'm not trying to say, and I agree, if the market was perfect, everyone knew what I knew, knew what you knew about EVs, price would be all that matters. And of course, there's a degree of, if you lower prices enough, people will start to do their own research anyways and start to try to convince themselves, because at the end of the day, price is all that matters to a lot of people. But there is a pool of people out there that I'm trying to make an argument for that have not only not perfect information, non-perfect information, they have misinformation. And how do you convert those people and put them into the pool of eligible buyers? I don't think cost is the biggest thing for the people to have misinformation about something. No offense. If I thought something was very hazardous to me, I don't think I'd really care about the cost of something at that point, right? If I knew aspartame was terribly bad for me, which it isn't, but let's just use this as an example. I don't care if the cookies are half the cost. I'm not buying the aspartame ones. Stupid example, right? So my point being is that let's increase the total addressable market by educating the masses. And of course, in the long haul, is that going to happen anyways? Probably. But I'm just saying we can speed up that information campaign. Catching up on the comments here. Great debate here today, folks. Hit subscribe, hit like if you're new here. 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Maybe I'll keep this time. I actually don't mind this time to go live in the morning. Trauma, how's it going? Juju Gang member. Tesla should hire AC/DC for the Cybertruck ads and events. GM can run with Devo. What if the first person... Okay, wrong answers only. Let's do a segment. Wrong answers only. Who should be the first person to drive the Cybertruck publicly? Wrong answers only. I'm gonna say Tom Brady. Is that a wrong answer only? Maybe it's a right answer only. Yeah, there you go. And I actually think I know what podcast episode you're referring to here, Nicholas, but Joe Rogan is probably the one about all the cobalt mining, I'm guessing. So who should be the first person to drive the Cybertruck? Wrong answer is only Trevor Milton. Lenny, great answer. Maybe he says me. Maybe that's. I think that's a correct answer. Joe Biden. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, no, I'm not going to play this drop right now. But Joe Biden actually, can you imagine that? Cybertruck is launched. Earnings happens this Wednesday. Elon says Cybertruck first deliveries October 27th, and it's to none other than Mr. Joe Biden. And you just see Joe on autopilot on the highway. He's just asleep at the wheel, and the Cybertruck is driving. Okay. Okay, Kanye West. Arnold. Hey, I guess you did ask for wrong answers only. A lot of